I'm Ali and I take environmental management and sustainability, which at the moment is very similar to environmental science. I've just finished my first year. In this video I want to talk about the structure of the programme and also my favourite modules and stuff like that. So at the start of the course then we went to a place called Slapton, which was really fun. That was right at the start of the course, so we could all get to know each other a bit better. We were there for 2 nights and on each day we did a different thing. So on the first day that was talking about sustainability and just different ways that Sharpham House was being sustainable.
Cute.
Then on the second, measuring the size of the trees in the forest to see how much carbon they were storing. I found that really enjoyable. And then I also did aquatic invertebrate identification, which was really good as well. And on Slapton then I met some of my best friends, so that's why they put it at the start of the course, so you can get to know everyone and you're put into random groups, so it was really fun. I'd love to go back. And we went to Slapton to help us with one of our assignments. The first module that we did on the course was called Sustainability Science. In regards to Slapton then we did a group project for sustainability science to talk about the environmental impacts of one of the roads there and if it would make sense to move the road to stop it from flooding and different things like that. Following different years after me might not do that, or they might do that. So I'm not going to give too much away, but it was really fun because we were put into randomly assigned groups. So again, we got to make friends. You do 2 assignments for each module. So the other assignment for sustainability science was an essay, and you could write that essay on any topic of your choice. I chose to do it about methane and nitrous oxide and the animal agriculture that fuels those emissions, and also rice production as well. And so that was really interesting and I really enjoyed doing that. I got a first on that assignment, so it was a good module to start us off. It was quite easy and there was lots of group stuff. It was just, and you're also very free to do whatever you wanted for that report, so that was a good module. The next module that we did was called the physical environment. This was pretty good as well. We learnt lots to do with soil formation, and also we had a trip to Dartmoor. Plymouth University is really close to Dartmoor National Park, so we went there for the day and we studied the ways that locals there are trying to conserve the fauna in the area by using Dartmoor ponies. And then we took some measurements, did some different things, and also because this was soon after Slapton, then we were doing the group things with our newly made friends, and this was quite at the start of the year as well, so it was a good it was a really good trip. We only went for 1 day, but for Slapton then we went for 2 nights. The information that we got from Dartmoor we used for 2 assignments. One of them was for the physical environment, which was to make a poster about the geology of Dartmoor, which was quite difficult, but it was fun. And also for the third module, called the Biosphere, we used the information that we got about the Dartmoor ponies for one of the assignments in that module. And then the other assignment in the physical environment was a report to do with the water quality at a place called Tavistock. So that was another trip that we did. We went to Tavistock for the day. It was really cold. It was so cold that day. I think this was in November. And we had to go over to the river, take some measurements of the water. And despite the fact that it was really cold, it was also fun because, again, talking to new people, and I've got a bite on my leg. The other assignment for the Biosphere module was 10 questions to do with stuff to do with biodiversity and the way that like mutualistic relationships between plants and animals, and that was really fun as well. So the first semester of first year was really good, and I decided to carry on with my my course choice. If you take environmental science or environmental management and sustainability, you can pretty much swap to either of the other ones throughout all of first year basically, because for the whole of first year then they are very, very similar courses. It's only in second year that they become quite different because you choose different modules. Now, semester 2 for first year was cut short, but what we did do was we started off 3 of the modules. So in each year you do 6 modules, 3 in each semester. And we took environmental management and protection for the first module of semester 2. Again, this was both environmental science and environmental management students all together. Just like in the first semester, we took all of the same core modules. And the module was split into 3 sections. There was stuff to do with ecological economics, there was environmental law, and there was a topic called environmental management and sustainability, which all students took on this whole course. And my favourite was probably the economics lectures. A lecturer called Linda took them. She is so lovely, and the content was really interesting. I didn't think I'd enjoy it, but she made it really interesting. And also environmental law, that was really interesting as well. A law lecturer taught us for all of those lectures. The assignments for this module, there were 2. Well, there was an exam, but obviously we haven't taken it. And so that means that the other assignment, which was a poster to do with serious minerals and the environmental impacts of that mine that they were building in North Yorkshire. So that assignment now counts as like all of like everything to do with that module, because we're no longer taking the exam. So there was another module that both science and management students took, and that was called Global Environmental Challenges. That was really interesting. We learned all about earthquakes and how humans are now causing earthquakes through fracking. And also in that module you learn about biodiversity and biodiversity loss. And because we've all had to come home because of the pandemic, then we got an alternative assignment. So that assignment might not be the same for following years, but for us then we did it about biodiversity loss. The other part of that module was for a PDP, so a personal development plan. And that is something that you do on a website called PebblePad. It's a pass or fail thing, so it's very, very straightforward. It's all about skills and your soft skills that you've got, and you write it all up and then you submit it to your personal tutor. And if you pass that, then you can pass the whole module. But if you fail it, then you failed the whole module. But it's really straightforward. And then the last module that we did in semester 2, this was just for environmental management and sustainability students. We took a module called Environment and Society. For this, then we went to Totnes for the day, and we learned all about it being a transition town. And then for that, then we did a group project with people in our tutor groups. So then you do your group project for 50% of the module marks, and then the other 50% is doing a report about a current environmental issue of your choice. And again, just like in sustainability science, there's a lot of freedom of what you can choose, and I really enjoyed this assignment. I chose to write my report on the energy sector and how there needs to be more solar power in the energy sector, but also talking about human rights and the fact that we need equality and equity, really just to make sure that we can actually tackle climate change, because you can't solve this current climate crisis without equality and equity within the human race. Like, the thing with this course, you do learn a lot about not just environmental issues but also ways to format things as if it was a professional thing that you were writing for someone. My favourite things of first year on environmental management and sustainability was probably the fact that both environmental science and management students were all in together. So this year environmental management and sustainability is quite a small course, there's only about 20 people on it, but if you're including the science students then there's actually about 90. So we got to know everyone, and lots of my friends take environmental science, and even next year then we still have lectures with them. I've chosen my modules for next year. I've chosen a module called Shaping the Future, Creating Sustainable Organisations, which I just thought would be really interesting. And then I also chose a module called Nature, Country and Society, which doesn't sound interesting, but reading the content of the course I thought that would be really good. You also get to choose to do a ocean and ocean science module, and also there was GIS. That's another thing that you learn lots about in this course is GIS, which I think is, I can't remember what it stands for, but it's very simple. You just get taught how to use GIS, and in the real world then lots of people want to employ people who have the skills to use GIS. So quite a few of my friends chose to take the module GIS for next year because it really improves your employability skills. The other modules for next year, so the core modules, I'm going to be taking environmental management and sustainability. That's a management and a science module, so everyone will be there. And also environmental issues and communication, which again both science and management students take. And then my core modules for next year, which are just environmental management, are environmental data management and environmental management and sustainability in practice. So I'm looking forward to all of those. Hopefully next year will be not cut short. And also next year, at some point at the start, then we talk about placement preparation. So that will be for students who choose to take a placement year, so I'm definitely going to do that. And some students choose not to take a placement year, so that's also fine. So if you want to take environmental science or environmental management and sustainability, then definitely do it. And Plymouth University is the best place to do it because you're right on the coast and also you're right next to Dartmoor, so you just get the best of both worlds. If you're struggling to choose whether to take environmental science or environmental management and sustainability, you really don't need to worry about that, because in the first year then you can switch between either of them, because both of them are very similar in the first year. Anything that I haven't covered in this video, just ask me in the comments. Otherwise I hope I've covered everything to do with my course, and I will see you next year. Bye!